chicken, you won't have raccoon eyes. And you stay, and I will show you the best exercises to eliminate raccoon eyes and also how to prevent them. We're going to start with the exercises. And as you can see, I have a little bit of oil. I'm going to use it only at the beginning, the first exercise, okay? Because there's going to be a walkthrough of what we're going to do. Important. When are we going to do it? Always in the morning. We're going to start it, and we're going to start with lymphatic drainage. I'm going to start by putting 2 little fingers and a little bit of oil. Okay, here. Always the oil. That doesn't drip, okay? And we're going to start there. Careful, we are going to go near the tear duct. So here, this is the tear duct. Hey, here, this is the tear duct, a little bit down, okay? Where the nose starts to open a little bit, and we are going to go down. We are going to go down through the bone, underneath the bone. Okay, here we are going to put the other finger together, and we are going to go a little bit upwards, stretching towards the temples. We are going to repeat this for approximately 1 minute. Right? No, as you can see, I am not doing it very fast. What I'm doing is a little bit of pressure. And while I'm at it, I'm going to do it. Okay? Spreading it a little more. I have the oil, spreading it a little more without overdoing the oil, otherwise we may have problems. Okay? The first exercise, we tone up, we reduce a little bit. That swelling that we haven't mobilized. Important with the exercises, be careful because the skin is very thin and delicate. It's very thin and delicate. But these exercises, in principle, that's why we put a little bit of oil at the beginning. Let's go with the second one now, okay? We start. The tear trough is here. So a little bit higher, and we are going to bring the fingers up to the eyebrows, okay? This is an exercise mainly to mobilize circulation, okay? And also to avoid redness. And also to avoid general reddening, eh? The sensation, the raccoon eyes, in principle, we think that they are only here, but it is working. I say this in case you ask me or think, hey Ruben, but what are you doing working on the eyebrows now? That's why it is. To activate circulation, then I place myself here a little bit above the tear trough, okay? I'm going to start here from the inside pressing, but carefully I'm going to reach up to, let's say, the cusp. Then I pull a little bit from the eyebrows upwards, and then I follow the path of the eyebrows the same way up to the temples. And how many times do I do this, Ruben? Well, I do it 10 times, okay? The same. I put it back here. Now is the point where I have to go upwards and here towards the temples. And here towards the temples and stretch a little bit, okay, to mobilize. That would be the second exercise. Before we go on with the exercises, let me explain to you what the raccoon eyes are. What raccoon eyes are. Raccoon eyes in principle occur in the whole area of the eyes. The sensation of redness, right? As if you had a strip here. Well, the word says it, right? Raccoon eyes is also clear. But why do raccoon eyes occur? Well, there can be many things. Usually, it is an accumulation of liquids, of blood. Even, well, it can be symptoms of allergies, it can even be food allergies. And on the other hand, at the clinical level, there can also be something underlying. What does that mean? For example, you can have something anemic, thyroid, or there may be kidney problems or fluid retention. So it's very important to work on the area, but to realize where it's coming from. We are going to do some exercises now to tone up, okay? I put myself like this, but it is not only because I like to do it, which I do too, but for this very reason. Okay, we are going to do the exercise. Watch this, of the V. Okay, we are going to place it here first. Okay, where am I going to place it? Well, obviously inside the eye, as close to the nose as possible, okay, without entering the grimmal. But what we are going to do is stretch a little bit here. Okay, we can do it with both if you can, if not one and then the other. Remember that we are going to do it 10 times, and the most important thing about this is that we are going to do it with both of us. And the most important thing about this, which is an exercise to tone up, that is to say, to work also the strength of that part, is that the lower eyelid is the one that has to try to go upwards. So the more tension you create here, that is to say, you stretch the skin a little bit more. You're going to feel it a little bit more. I stretch it a little bit there. And upwards, okay, like putting a little bit of pressure. From the lower eyelids. It's hard for you to do it 10 times. Hey, Ruben, it's hard for me to do it 10 times in a row. Well, you do it 5 times, you do it another 5 times. Okay, nothing happens, but it is important that you do it and that you also notice it. So we continue with the V, but in this case, instead of here, we are going to do it here. Okay then? See how I am going to place it here, and we are going to stretch a little bit. Okay, we stretch here, and what we do is repeat. Okay, and we're going to try it upwards as well, but here we're going to do it faster, and we're going to blink our eyes. Okay, about 15 times approximately. Look, like a photo or video click. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, like when you have a flash, that feeling when you have a flash and it comes like that. But what's important is to tense and stretch the area there. Okay, like opening your eyes more, and while you do this sensation, like this sensation, okay, to tone up, to work the muscles, so that this, when working, also pumps. That is, so that the blood moves more. And we finish with the last exercises to relax the area and also mobilize a little bit. Look, with the little fingers, index fingers. Okay, let's place ourselves. Well, this is the lacrimal, a little bit below the lacrimal. Okay, where the flaps start, right there, where the flaps start. I'm going to ask you a little bit of pressure on the site. Okay, like so, about 10 times approximately. And then, okay, this will be one exercise. Let's join it with another one, which you can imagine what it is. But if you can't imagine it, I'll tell you it is this. And we are going to join the fingers together. And we take all the sides, we go back to the place again. Index finger, do 10 again. We go back to the place with all the fingers. And upwards to the temples until we reach the eyebrows here. Ruben, it's hard for me. Well, as we have done before, a little bit of oil poured, being careful not to get inside, and remember pressure and then mobilization. To finish, well, look, you can do it in two ways. This exercise that I'm going to tell you last, okay, you can start here. Okay, normally I advise you to do these three, okay. Because all four are going to be a little bit complicated, but start here and stretch a little bit, okay? And stretch it out a little bit, okay? Under the bone, that is start on top, but then underneath, okay? And mobilize a little bit, boom, 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 boom. Hey Ruben, it bothers me a lot with my knuckles, although it is a very good exercise to mobilize. And if you see me, I get in here, and it's hard for me to talk a little. That is, as if I had put my fingers in the flaps. I do not put it directly, but it's something like that. Here. Well, let's do it with tapping then. If it's harder for you to do that, you can do it here perfectly. Okay, two little fingers and open, okay? And open, okay? It's about opening a little bit, and it's about mobilizing at the end of the day. And if not, as we have done here, those would be the exercises that will be great for you. Recommendations. Well, first, sleep 7 hours. That is important. And then recommendations that we always tell you in addition. For the skin, for the nasolabial fold, for the crow's feet, for the bars. All these recommendations that we say, hey, well, a little less salt in your meals maybe, vitamin E, vitamin C, all that we always tell you in almost all the videos, is because it is also good for your health and it is good for your skin. So remember that this has a double function as well, and it is also good for your skin. So remember that this has a double function as well. And that's why we tell you, you have to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself on the inside and take care of yourself on the outside. And as always, until healing and beyond.